Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I rise in opposition to this bill because it's the wrong policy for the state of Texas today. This bill makes our state and our constituents less safe. Texans need us to stand up and pass laws that ensure anyone in our state with a gun is safe and responsible with it and is well trained. This bill does the opposite. Every week, gun violence steals the lives of more Texans. This permitless carry legislation moves us in the wrong direction. It makes the training and licensing process obsolete and allows more people to carry guns without proper safety training. As Mr. Schaefer and I discussed on his layout this morning, the Texas Constitution clearly states that the legislature shall have power by law to regulate the wearing of arms with a view to prevent crime. This bill will not prevent crime. As we've already heard today, the research shows us that we will see an increase in homicides and an increase in violent crime if bills like this become law. That's why our state's largest police associations are opposed to this bill and opposed to any permitless carry legislation. We need common sense reforms to our gun laws. And our focus should be on passing laws to ensure that every Texan who has a gun, and most who do, are responsible, and we need to keep it that way. We don't need to repeal the systems that have worked to keep guns out of the wrong hands. But unfortunately, sometimes common sense policy seems to have little chance on this floor. We ignore research, ignore the voices of the men and women who risk their lives in law enforcement, ignore the stories of far too many families who have lost loved ones to gun violence. We're also ignoring, if we pass this bill today, current events. A couple headlines from newspapers just today. 2 dead in daytime shooting at a Southeast Houston apartment complex. Suspect in custody in shooting a Burleson police officer and the slaying of a woman in a carjacking. And I could go on, but I won't. The majority of members on this floor may support this bill today, but make no mistake, the majority of Texans in this state outside this building do not support this bill. I stand with them in opposition to this bill and in support of the common sense gun safety measures that this state needs and deserves. One day, members, I believe in the not too far distant future, a member of this body will bring a gun safety bill to the floor of this House and lay it out here at this podium that actually improves public safety and fulfills our constitutional duty to prevent crime and to enhance public safety. Unfortunately, today is not that day, and that's why I'll be voting no on this bill.
Mr. Coleman, for what purpose?
Yes, will the gentleman yield for a question?
The gentleman yields for questions.
Yes, I will.
Thank you, Representative Turner. I've noticed there's been a lot of discussion about the vulnerability of women today.
I have noticed that, yes.
Yes,
Sure.
but it hasn't come from women, has it?
I have not heard any women speak about the vulnerability of women, no.
So what is it about women, whether they're young or old, that puts them in jeopardy it seems to be in any situation, anywhere where they need a firearm to walk the dog?
Yeah, I think it's a great question, and I haven't had a clear answer as to why women and their safety has been such a focus today of the proponents of this legislation. I think we have a lot of bills on this floor from time to time that could help women, Texans, and sometimes they don't seem to have the same, how shall I say it, the same level of concern that we've seen today on this bill, seemingly.
Might be a dog whistle.
Might be, Representative Coleman.
The chair recognizes Mr. Anchia to speak against